Hello and welcome back to the Liminal Branch Library, the archive in the seams. I'm your Archivist Librarian, Mordio Crow, and tonight we're back to where chaos reigns with our wonderful retinue, the same cast of 5 as we've had this whole time. Starting with Katie playing as Vern.
Vote for me, I'm eating a sandwich.
Vote for Vern, she's eating a sandwich. Next to Vern, we have Nova playing as Chalice.
At the Gala.
Who is at the Gala. And next to Chalice, we have Amasha playing as Chantrell.
Yeah! Vote for Vern.
Also voting for Vern. We got 2 votes for Vern. Well, actually, I don't know if Vern's counts as voting for herself. But next to Chantrell, we have Hambone playing as Merlin.
I'm going to withhold judgment until I research both candidates.
Oh,
That's me speaking, not Merlin.
What the hell? Oh, okay.
You know, fair enough. And finally, down at the end, we have Lena playing as Shion.
I actually don't think I am legally allowed to vote in this election.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like refugee, sort of.
Claimant Vern, reporter here from the Bone Daily.
Mhm.
How do you feel about ex-convicts? Will they be allowed to vote in your new nation?
I love them, and I think they have great opinions of me.
Great opinions of Vern. Okay. Thank you.
All right. And hello, Keys. Hello, Ghost. Yeah, let's remember where we were. Last time on Where Chaos Reigns, the retinue attacked Los Petalos down here. This was a covert operation aimed at weakening the blockade that had been formerly encircling their territory. Though it was a close call, you succeeded, commandeering the Aatos II, an old capital ship of the new Statheros fleet, and destroying a powerful and fast bomber. And while you all disrupted the ship's levitation and caused a great distraction, a crew of Yapik Scions raided the outpost supplies. And when you all flew off in your seized vessel, the Yapik's crew was right behind you. Los Petalos, however, does remain in control of the occupation, but without its 2 Guardian airships, it'll take time for the occupation to re-secure it and resupply it, granting you all an opportunity to venture beyond the blockade more safely, or in this case, to invite others within. In light of the numerous diplomatic messages that have been building up on Vern's desk, she and the retinue have decided it might be a good idea to invite their many potential allies and perhaps even current enemies into one location to do some diplomacy. But such a large gathering is going to require a good bit of planning, and depending on the list of invitees, may have an incredibly high risk and reward. So that's where we're going to come to our retinue real quick. Last time we did not go through all of the sortie aftermath. Between then and now, I went to the faction, or like the retinue sheet and the faction tracker, updated all the relationships. The short version is you guys have +3 coin, +3 renown, +3 unrest. So you got all that extra stuff. You're getting close to tier 3 renown. At this point, your scout levy is now no longer weakened. You have recovered from the time spent, or like all the stuff stolen by House Vutis when they left Toam. So that's now fully operational. A couple logistical mini things. This clock about the order's reply has completed. Additionally, there should be an unrest roll. However, I think that it makes more sense to just sort of wrap all of this potential conflict into the Gala and have it happen there.
That's Gala.
So I'm going to leave this order's reply full, and I think the events of the Gala will influence, like, they have their opinion and they're prepared to make it, but I think the events of the Gala might influence whether they decide to go back on that opinion, whether they decide to go forward with it, and how they present it, if at all. So I'm going to leave that on pause. I'm going to not roll an unrest roll, and we're just going to get into everyone's downtime rolls. As you all arrive back in Tawam with the Aatos II in tow, you get a couple weeks to take some downtime and prepare for the gala. So
Gala.
let's start with the group down, or like the ones that I feel like lots of people usually take.
Yep.
Is who's taking a Seek Solace this time around?
Definitely
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, this gets rid of stress, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I would like some clarification on
yes.
stress regarding scars.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so during a subsequent downtime phase after you have at least one scar, so not including the one where you just got the scar, right? So
Mhm.
everyone who got a scar not this past story, but the one before that, you didn't have to worry about it until now. But if you do not seek solace during downtime, you suffer stress equal to the number of scars that you have. If you do seek solace, you don't have to worry about your scars impacting you in any meaningful way, right? So it's like,
Okay.
it's not like, you take an extra 2 stress or anything regardless. It's like, no, only if you don't seek solace, you get an extra 1 or 2 or whatever your current scar level
And that
is.
happens every time
Every
we have a downtime?
single downtime.
Yikes.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that just incentivizes us to get stressed
That's true. Yeah, you
and
also,
unstress ourselves.
All right. So, but
All right,
I heard.
I guess I'm relaxing.
All right. Chalice is relaxing. Merlin, Vern, Chantrell, Shion. What about the two of you?
I would like to get some clarification as well on.
sure.
I believe it's one of Chalice's skills that allows us to
yes.
fix one of the values depending on how we roll.
Mm-hmm.
So I will put this in chat so you can also see it. But basically, it's if you join me and we do the same thing, you can adjust the outcome by positive or negative one. So, for example, if you had 2 stress for some reason and you're trying to still seek solace, if you hit a 3, that's bad. So you can adjust it by 1. And if you didn't roll enough and you have like a lot of stress, you can add 1 and decrease your stress.
Mm-hmm. And this
Yeah,
does stack with the ability some people have to do that on themselves.
Yeah,
as well.
that's what I was going to ask. Stamina reserves.
Yep.
The
So-
problem is figuring out a way that we can seek solace together here, because
I
my
think that'll be too bad.
type of solace is prayer.
Right.
I
I think it's more of a narrative justification, right? Like, it's not
Right.
that we need to take a seek solace action with a specific, like in this case, it's a prayer seek solace action, and in that case, it's I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but it's not like in each one there's a different seek solace action required. It's just your characters must do what they need to do for themselves. But if you want to gain the bonus from Chalice, that means you have to hang out with Chalice. It is required to spend time with Chalice if you want the bonus. So like you just have to have that written into the story, right? That you're taking the seek solace action, you do your own seek solace, and at some point you join Chalice as well.
Okay.
So
I'm going to seek solace as well, and depending on how I roll, I might need to adjust the outcome by 1 or 2.
All right, and Chantrell, are you in as well?
Yes.
All right, then that's everyone. Everyone make your seek solace rolls.
I've got some ideas for what we can do to seek solace. Of course, you do not have to choose to do the thing that I'm doing, or you could suggest something else. But because we are getting ready
Never
for
mind.
a gala-
I escaped having to hang out with.
No!
Well,
Because I rolled a 5,
uh-huh.
and I'm going to adjust that by 1, reducing my stress by 4, and now my stress is at 0.
But I'm
Alright.
so
Perfect.
charming.
I'm
But
stress
I'm so
free.
charming.
What were you
No.
saying?
I was gonna say that my role or my seeking selves would be either to do the shopping or doing some taste testing for the food that we're going to just be displaying at the gala.
Yeah,
Oh my God,
Chantrell,
that's so fun.
definitely in on that.
For bodyguard reasons and for tasty reasons.
Yes.
Could be poisoned.
Oh my god.
Well,
I don't understand. So, failure doesn't really mean anything here
No, it
because
does.
also says
It does.
it does.
Yeah,
you
it
can't. You
says
can't.
what it means. You have a crisis.
But
You
Can
my
you-
crisis
you can't-
is that
you got sick.
nothing looks good on me.
Oh
No, so
Wait, Chalice, can you edit one of those numbers so it's not a failure, or
Even-
can you not edit
even
yours?
if they do that, it wouldn't be enough.
yeah,
No!
So
That's the reason why I asked
Yeah.
about the thing, because I needed something in case I rolled a 6, which was to be able to adjust by 2.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would
I'm
go
just
into
I'm just
crisis.
confused here because it's saying clear for stress.
yeah.
It actually
So I
went
still-
into -2 technically.
Yeah, but Chalice can only adjust it by 1. Chalice does not have a second ability to adjust. So
I have for stress.
right.
And oh, this was Chalice's row.
Yeah, this is Chalice's roll. So Chalice, you rolled a
Oh,
6,
shit.
which is more than your number of stress.
So why does
Maybe
it say
you-
clear
maybe
for
you-
stress?
You
Because
can still do that.
Oh.
even on failure you still clear your force stress, but then you have to
Okay.
choose one of the consequences.
Let me take a look at those.
+2 on rest.
I didn't realize you would be so upset about the fact that I avoided hanging out with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really put a bummer on my roll. Dissatisfying.
I mean, probably the cleanest ones here. You probably don't want to do withdrawn. You don't want Chalice to sit
Yeah,
out
I
two
can't be
sorties.
withdrawn for this party.
Hey guys.
No. Probably the two cleanest ones, like the simplest and most straightforward, are either all of this party planning draws a lot of the resources of your budding nation. The blockade just drops, and all of a sudden the ruling class is planning a party, that causing some unrest. So either that or Chalice being dissatisfied.
Oh no, he's dissatisfied. And I must start a 6-segment project clock to find a new one. So does that mean my solace is no longer rest?
Yes, it means your solace is no longer rest, and you will not be able to seek solace until you fill that clock.
Okay, I'll become a workaholic. Things are becoming really serious now that we're doing the party, and so I can't just sit around on my laurels. I have to go work. So I can no longer rest. I must be working.
All right,
So you're
delete.
gonna do the 6 o'clock?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Is that something you do?
I'll
or-
make it for you and put it in the
Oh,
Hmm.
rip Chalice.
where is it? Long-term project.
Yes.
Chalice learns to relax. We're gonna call it that.
Relearns to relax.
Oh yeah, sure. We can put relearns.
How
Yes.
Chalice got his groove back.
Relearns to relax.
Mhm.
Yes.
All right. So Chalice, you can. Yep, you got rid of your solace. Perfect. All right. So since everyone did seek solace, does anyone have any flair or little scenes they want to discuss of the various activities that you do?
Sure. I got one.
All right, let's hear it.
So Merlin, he still has a plan his daughter gave him
Mm-hmm.
to work on. It hasn't exploded or been dropped off a building, so I think it's going good. It's actually sprouted, and more
Hey.
sprouts have sprouted as well.
Very
And
nice.
as he's tending to it, it's not flowering or anything. It's just sort of grouping up along the ground of the pot
Mhm.
and forming. He's tending to it, just dipping any dead leaves that's how plants get taken care of, right?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, you do want to
Yep.
prune the leaves, yeah.
Okay, so as he's doing it, as one of his fingers touches one of the tendrils of the plant, it slowly begins to wind around it. And it has a warmth to it he wasn't expecting. Not just temperature-wise, but like it feels like an embrace that he's not felt in a very long time. And he just holds it there. His new sheer attachment hand
Mm-hmm.
kind of trembling. And very slowly he backs away. He, gives a little caress, holds it there for a moment, and then he withdraws his hand. And he is crying. I think he's really proud of what he's done. He's doing the right. He's doing good.
Good.
And all the stress just melts away, you know.
Yeah, he feels some semblance of relief. But that does cause him to worry a little bit, but he's just gonna stay in this moment for now.
Good for him.
Yeah, very nice.
Meanwhile, I'm hitting that kush. Sorry.
It's like
All right.
Never apologize.
in the background, Chalice is just lounging on a chair. Is like, man, why do I even have this horn?
What? What?
Like,
Born with it.
Bored with it.
yeah, but like, why do I gotta be the one with the horn?
My
Why
God.
did horse god give me a horn?
Like, I've never even seen a horse, but I've never seen
What?
like, a horn. Horses are mythical, just like in Root.
I just forget what a horse is.
You're gonna be real spooked later.
Like a horse.
Goes by Carousel's like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck?
Does anyone else have anything they do in particular to relax?
Is that all Chalice does to seek solace? Well, they can't seek solace.
No.
Okay.
The thing I said earlier is what he does.
Workaholic time.
Yeah.
I think Vern wants to be amongst the people and spreading the word of the gala and all that.
Vern goes out to the crowd and goes, Nick's at 5!
Nixon 5!
Vern says that, definitely not Katie.
No, of course not.
Okay, so when
We're
Vern goes
holding
out
a
and tells
raffle, everybody.
Did you say a raffle?
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
holding a raffle. You could win Day with Vern. Tell her all of your
Whoa.
troubles and
Oh,
spend a
Damn,
day with
can I answer
Vern. Huh?
Can I enter that?
No.
Well, not Merlin. Can I? Just a
Oh.
skeleton.
Oh, yes, you, of course. One of my nation.
Yes.
Sure. Puts away time traveler's watch.
disclaimer: you are also responsible for joining in on any escapades that happen during that day.
I
You're
don't
not
show
liable
up.
for any injury and/or death.
I show up at the wrong address.
Hey, kid, you want to see a dead dragon? An undead dragon, I guess.
Oh man.
Isn't
That'd be a
some
fun
elaborate.
bring a civilian to work day, huh? Quick question.
The retinue.
Did you all decide where you want to hold the gala, or is that something we'll talk about once we're done with downtime?
I've been more and more sold on having it in Tuam,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
because that would mean that Vern would open the palace to literally the whole public, and she would reserve a room for all the royals if they wanted to be safe and out of the riffraff. But
Right.
if you're gonna join my crew, you're gonna hang out with the people you make decisions for.
Right. Perhaps also the room that's a little bit more reserved is also for making deals and decisions where you don't want public
Yeah.
over here as well.
The room where it
Yeah.
happens.
Of
Yeah.
course.
That makes sense.
The room where it happens.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Sounds fair to me.
Chantrell is probably going around with Vern just to make sure things stay calm. But also food testing everywhere. It's a beautiful thing.
Mhm.
Have we talked about not Vern, pardon me, Chantrell eating meat? What does she think of it?
What's the issue? Cheats everything.
I don't know. I just maybe that. Yeah, I don't know. It seems weird. I don't see too many plants that eat meat.
Mushrooms aren't plants.
Yeah, they're fun guys.
Shut up.
I told you to get out of that chalice without my permission.
You did this to me. I became a smoker because of you.
Merlin considers this and goes into his own crisis.
You're fucking up another kid. No, get out of there.
Fuck. I
Pull
gotta
out
find a
the
new retinue
tailspin.
to be a part of.
But yeah, Shantra will eat everything that is consumable and possibly things that are not consumable. I don't know. I've never tried it.
Ooh. Sounds kind of fun.
So this is a napped Ken.
It's very well rested. Just take a little bite.
Ooh.
Well, since Chalice and Chantrell are both doing taste testing, are there any particular foods y'all are picturing as being present as like a key thing?
Tacos.
We
Tacos.
we need one really impressive dead animal to roast.
Oh.
We need
We also-
we need like the Filipino
Like a big
equivalent,
chocobo or something.
or whatever this game's equivalent of, like a Filipino roast pig, where it's just the
Oh
whole
my God,
freaking
yes.
pig.
Well, let's just make sure none of the people we're inviting over are primals of that animal.
That's true.
They're
It's
separate.
different. It's different.
It's fine. They're just lesser beings compared to us.
No.
We can eat unicorn then.
Oh my god.
That
But it's an
probably
ice
is a
cream
really
unicorn,
expensive
and the
fancy
horn is just
people
an ice
food,
cream
isn't
cone.
it? Yeah.
Probably.
I am all for skewers of some kind.
Kebabs.
Oh,
Oh, that'd
So
be really
good.
good. And we'd have like, we could have like Nan or something to like grab him with. Oh my god.
Aw.
yeah.
I was actually gonna say empanada, so should
Those
say
are also really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, taking a quick look at similar biomes, I mean, there's probably a good variety of things that you could catch in or around the canyons, like some form of elk or bison, or
Bless you.
see there's things called javelinas, which are a type of
Ah!
pig.
Ooh.
So
Whoa, cool. Wait, I'm gonna.
Are they really pointy?
Javelinas. I remember them.
Javelina?
The
Oh my
javelina.
god.
javelinas, but yeah,
They're
That's a little guy.
they're very cute and very sturdy. You can hit
Oh,
them
they're
with your
real.
car and they will keep going.
A peccary. They're cute.
Yeah, they're little peccaries.
I love boars so bad. And this is close enough.
Cool.
Actual boars are terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like some of these could be used as potential centerpiece type critters. So I imagine Chantrell and Chalice spending time figuring out what would be suitable to the various potential guest palettes, what ingredients you all have on hand, and luckily, with the falling of the blockade, and you have your own trade goods that have been piling up, you have plenty of things to exchange, both locally and, throughout the whole territory, and then even with border territories as needed to get all the fancy little ingredients that you need. And the kitchen staff of the palace are getting ready. You got a couple weeks to prepare the menu and then start cooking at scale, which is going to take a while, especially since it sounds like Vern's plan is to open the gates to pretty much everyone for the whole palace, which is going to that's a lot of people to feed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think
We
it
need
wouldn't
some-
be everybody has to eat in the place. It'd be like the whole city's open. Everybody's making a big feast that night. You
There
can
will
go
be
wherever.
street food.
Night
Yeah.
market. We open up the
Night
night
market.
market.
God,
R.I.P.,
food is
dude.
so good.
Sounds good to me.
Food stalls everywhere.
Street food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it will boost the local economy.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Very true.
you already gave them a party like, I don't know, 30 days ago when the city was was
Vern becomes known
liberated.
as the party lord.
Oh my god.
Party girl.
Just like Caligula. Oh.
No!
Uh-oh.
I don't
Just
know.
like Louis the Lazy, who is someone we might meet. Who knows? No, just kidding. We're not gonna meet him.
Damn.
Yeah,
Could
but
be bothered to come by.
yeah, too lazy. Shion, any extra flair on your Seek Solace? You did not have to hang out with Chalice, which allows you to have avoided Chalice's crisis. Just the
Yeah, I do think that this would be an interesting one because Shion's probably going to be doing their usual of setting up the little shrine to their family.
Mhm.
Oh.
And I think this time he's just going to spend a long time thinking about whether any of this has been worth it.
Ooh.
Oh.
Mhm.
Thinking about the scar that came before. And I guess she would just be very contemplative in that regard, trying
Right.
to remember any family that she had back then
Mhm.
and think about who this is all for. And there probably would be tears, but not like anyone would, not like she would ever admit to it.
Mhm. Here's a question for you, Lena, especially in light of Shion's more recent scar, right? When Eveline fell, when the vampires fled, Shion made the decision to continue to try to hunt her former master down, right? Knowing that he did not personally fall during the attack. And though it was like he had been forced into hiding or something, maybe someone else would have hunted him, maybe he would have been tracked down. But she made the decision at that time to keep going. And now, while I'm sure over the course of her life and the time when she was under the control of the vampire, there probably was a good amount of family and clan and so on lost. But when Eveline fell, when Breontok fled, was there a good number of people left still that chose not to join Shion? Did Shion instruct them to stay behind, saying that she had it handled? Were they exhausted? Essentially, sort of what I'm asking here is, thinking about that recent scar and just seeing things slightly differently, does Shion consider those who stayed behind differently in a way? Or does it recontextualize her goal in any way?
I think that Shion's plan was not something that they told anyone at any point. It was just a hatred that festered
Right.
throughout the years, silently, and she would just be like thinking, when I get the chance, I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened is that then Eveline falls. A
Mm-hmm.
different government entirely gets set up.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly, Brehantak is not there. And first of all, this does not necessarily mean that peace has been brought to the Fukudo clan.
Right.
Necessarily, because they didn't just get their land back right? Someone else came in and took it.
Mm-hmm.
And Shion actually was upset about this, meaning that they would have lost their chance.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Shion talked to anyone. I think she just disappeared one day.
Well,
Yeah. So I guess one last question then. Just where is it? Thinking of this weight of your sins scar then. Shion just vanished so that they could come and do all this on their own. Do they regret not telling anyone? Or are they at peace with that still?
Shion would probably have some thought about how, oh, this is my cross to bear and mine alone.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she might hesitate a little bit at this point. Especially from... One sec. I think the meeting with Kiji was the first time. Because that was when Shion saw someone who was in their situation, living a different life, choosing a different path, one that doesn't involve violence. And maybe that planted a little seed of doubt.
Yeah. Fair. Very fair. All right. I think that ends my questions for now, unless you had anything more you'd like to add.
No, I think that's it for me.
All right. Then, with our Seek Solaces handled, what else are you all up to? Is anyone taking a recover?
Yeah.
me.
I'm taking a recover.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I got.
Mhm.
I still have arrows in me somewhere.
Yeah, I have a crossbow
Oh,
arrow. in me.
man, it's like splinters.
You know, they say
I'm gonna
that
train.
you're not supposed to take the arrows out because it will cause bleeding, which is why Merlin still has them 3 weeks later.
I'll get around to it.
But yeah, all right. Anyone who wants to do recover, feel free to do so.
It's that in
Down-
tier,
What's
so
the
we're
crew
2.
tier?
Yeah,
Two,
crew
right?
tier is 2, so you pick that
Okay.
down, that little drop down to the right of recover.
Merlin!
Ah. I take out one arrow and I try and set it aside, but then I accidentally stab it back into my leg.
You still recover a little bit. You don't make it worse, but
Well,
Yeah.
hey Vern, real quick, can I borrow $1 to get another arrow out of me?
Oh my god. Yes. Yes, you can. Let me
Okay.
find you a doctor.
Okay, let's try that again. Okay.
There you go.
Alright. So that's that.
all right, I've subtracted $1.
$1
Thank
here.
you.
And then
I filled my healing sphere, so I now have nothing.
Hooray!
I'm ready.
Nice job.
yay. So it just goes down 1. So I still have an injury. It's just a tier 1.
Yeah, if you had tier 2, then it goes down to 1. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I think I heard Shion. Were you also recovering, or was that someone else?
No, that was me.
That was you. All right. Yeah. Go. Feel free to throw ahead your. Go ahead and throw your roll on there.
What tier are we right now?
2.
2.
You're getting quite close to 3, but not there yet. Hey, there you go.
Nice.
All right.
How are you on coins?
Pretty good. You guys are at
think we got a
9.
lot.
We got 3 from last session, so we
This is-
are still pretty high, I think.
Mhm.
So I feel like if I spend 1 coin here, then I don't have to worry about wounds.
Do it.
Okay, do it.
All right. I like to imagine that if this was more video game like, right, then Shion or Lena would like submit a request and it would pop up on everyone's screen and they'd have to choose approve or not approve. And if the majority of the retinue hits approve, then it goes through, right? Like a little stamping kind of thing. But,
Cute.
yeah. All right. Expense approved. I've removed it.
Vote to kick Merlin from the retinue. What the fuck?
What the hell?
That one's a
Who
glitch.
keeps
Get that off
submitting
my
these every
screen.
sortie?
It's Mordio.
Damn.
I'm sick of this goody two shoes.
I was thinking it might be Merlin trying to check in to see how the rest of the retinue feels about him.
We all cool
That
about
sounds
this?
about right. Shit, maybe I'd get some hours back if I just left the group. This is fun. This is fun.
All right, so I think that leaves Chalice and Vern with a second downtime roll.
Yeah.
I would like to train into an
I'm
ability.
one training away from getting an ability. I don't know what I
Oh,
roll
nice.
for that. if
You don't
I'm
roll
trying
anything.
to
You
get
just you just get it.
it. I just do it.
Hey!
Okay.
All right, Vern, Chalice, what training do you do between advertising and taste testing and getting everything ready?
Shaking babies, kissing hands.
hmm
Mhm.
Wait. Sorry, I'll let you go first.
I'm still reading my abilities because there's one
Oh, okay.
called Imposing that looks really good. And I may spend a special armor to resist a consequence of a failed negotiation. Or I can push myself to intimidate an uncooperative contact.
Whoo!
Oh, that sounds fun.
So I'm kind of wondering if it's that one. I don't know about special armors.
Basically, special armor is a little box you have on your character sheet on the right in the armor section. I don't think people have taken armor very often, which is, perfectly
I've used
fine.
mine once.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
know
Lena has
Shion
to-
used special armor, I think in the most recent sortie, or perhaps 2 sorties ago. Might have been fighting the vampire. But essentially...
I used it twice, I'm pretty sure,
Oh,
yeah.
twice. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so special armor is basically that little extra box next to special. It basically just means you can use that ability once per sortie in order to...
Oh, cool. Okay.
Now, the reason why it's that special box is theoretically you can get multiple abilities that would expend that box, but you can only use
And
one of them. you
yeah,
know?
okay. Cool.
And that just comes back after the sortie, so...
Sweet. All right. I pick that one.
All right. So Vern is doing
Interesting.
diplomatic training. Chalice, what about you?
Well, I was gonna put into ability, but then when I was gonna describe my training, I guess for into this ability, I think it makes more sense for me to actually do gather, or actually I don't remember all the options, but like, is acquire asset one of the downtime actions I can do?
Oh, like instead of train?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to get an asset. What are you trying to do?
Well, so what I want to do is I want to do intense research on the people that we're inviting here, so I can better prepare myself to ingratiate Vern to them / also avoid pitfalls of what they might try to strong arm her into.
Okay. I see what you're going for. Yes, the asset in this case basically being a thorough understanding of the nuances of some of these attendees, right? Like-
Yes, and I want to do that partially. Not getting information might not be what I'm about to say, but like I do also want to sort of I want to go to Diatretta and sort of get a basic training from her, just like, okay, I'm going to do this thing. I could use your advice. You're skilled at this.
Ooh.
Oh, it's that PR training that they did
Yeah.
on Thousand Airs.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. So here's what I'll say for you for that. I think that when we're setting up for the sortie, something like a gather information roll can give your characters ideas of what to expect. This acquire asset, I think, is a more focused specialized group of knowledge that I think I would probably only want to apply to one, maybe two of the attendee nations. So, something I'd be willing to do, especially because flashbacks are something we have underutilized in this particular system thus far, is if you want to hold on to that action for now, you guys can downtime action, and then you can decide before the sortie who you want to focus in on to roll that acquire asset to get that information. I think we could do it that way, or if you already know this is the one I want to make sure we maximize our chances on, we could roll that one now. But I think that it might make more sense to have some groundwork context, especially because I don't think we have our guest list finished yet. So,
yeah, let's get that sorted out, and then I'll do what you just said.
Okay, sounds fair. And so that means, right, last quick question is for Vern, for your training, who do you imagine, or how do you imagine Vern picking up this extra skill? Is this something that Vern reflects on time with Osprey about? Is spending time in the cloister talking either to the bishop, or what was the other guy's name off the top? I don't remember off the top of my head. The one who yells at Vern a good bit. Califer, or like a rare interaction of Vern and Califer, because it's intimidation based, and he's, I don't want to say quick to use his anger, but he's more willing to use, shall we say, divine fury.
Right.
No. Any thoughts there?
Sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
I really like the idea with going toe to toe with him. Like, face me in a head-to-head, like, just argument. And if I throw out something that you can easily disassemble in an argument, then I know where my weak points are, and it'd kind of be like, I know you hate me, so use that to, like, make me better, make me see more reason, that kind of stuff.
Yep. I can imagine him being initially surprised at being approached by Vern, hearing her out, hearing her out, that request, taking a moment to think it over, and replying something along the lines of, you severely misunderstand if you think that I hate you. I merely believe that. And then he proceeds to eviscerate your character, right?
Sure.
Just like go through and be like, I just really think that you don't think things through, that you act rather brashly, that a lot of your ideas aren't fully formed.
Loser! You're a loser!
Right? Just like sort of goes through all that. But ultimately, when Vern's like, I need to present you arguments, you tear them apart. And he's like, oh, well, I mean, I do that all the time anyway, so might as well do it.
Yeah.
Do it on request.
It's like breathing to this guy.
Yeah. I think by the end of that, there's a little bit of I don't know if fatigue is the right word that comes through. Like when you're finally done, maybe this takes a place across like a week or two of multiple conversations, etc. But like towards the end of it, whether it's exhaustion or what, there does seem to be a little bit more truth that comes through to like how he opened, right? Where when Vern's starting to defend her ideas a little better, or when Vern stumbles, he calls her on it, and rather than like fixes the argument, Vern pivots and counters. There's a growing, you're not sure if it's pride or respect, or just like, whether it's pride of him being like, I have successfully taught you, or like, okay, like respect of you coming into your own, but it's there, expressed not in words, but in like subtle body language and a shift in tone compared to his usual harshness, right?
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
All right.
Yeah. I think she went to him for the intimidate thing because she is intimidated by him very, very much. She really wanted to just learn how he does that to people.
Right.
I think that's fun. Yay.
Yeah. All right. Well then, Now with all the downtime actions handled, it's time to begin planning our next sortie, which, as we all know, is going to be the Gala in Tawam. So, foisting's foist. We're going to need to decide on our list of invitees. So, just to do a quick run through of the ones who I think are definitely coming. We have Makota Intan, which is the red nation that is sort of to your north and east. They are the ones who asked about reopening trade routes. You've temporarily removed the blockade, but they would be, interested in a long-term stable trading partner, whether that's you, the occupation, or if they turn their trade needs completely elsewhere over the sea, right? Like they could end up helping you at helping your enemies, or just sort of abandoning the conflict altogether. That's that group. We also have from off screen. Let me see. Do I have their? I'll look for it while I'm talking. But we also have 2 international powers who were interested in potentially making contact, whether that's forming alliances or just like establishing some connections. Oop, I don't need to make this much smaller, I think. Will that go? Yep. Okay, I need to make that much smaller. But we have the Laurel Concord, which is one of the 2 major superpowers that wiped out Eveline. Technically it is a democratic nation, though it does still have like House of Lords and all that kind of stuff. Very technocrat, a lot of magitek, an alliance of many smaller nations led by one of the larger ones. This is a nation that is very, big on trade, big on study, big on advancement. They do not forsake the gods, but the gods are sort of like, they're not as revered as in the other major nation, which is Arhema here. Arhema, run by a council where there's one representative from each major deity, with the exception of the deity no one's allowed to worship, which they instead have a representative who is essentially head inquisitor on that council instead. So if you'll look at the flag there are 4 pillars and a missing spot, the missing spot being the deity who is not who is not worshipped.
It's interesting they say don't worship him, but they still acknowledge
Represent, yeah.
It's
that's
like
strange.
It's like, hey, we cannot deny that entity is a god, but don't do it.
But
don't
do it.
Don't follow.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. No.
So those are the 2 superpowers who took down Eveline. The Arhema is more focused on stability and of course faith, which, as you would know from your time in Lago Alto, they very much kind of want to bring order to the chaos in general, but it's not like they're sending invasion groups here to these nations, but they're generally supporting nations who seek to end the chaos in the land. Outside of that, we also have the nation that Rowan mentioned being from, the young nation to the north, the one that I believe Vern and the recently crowned king there have at least a little bit in common of being young leaders who did not expect to get that position at their age. This is the kingdom of Altricius, the nation beyond the glacier to the north. A young nation that has only just re-entered the global stage after having been literally frozen for centuries within a great spell. So those are the 3 major international powers who have contacted you, who I imagine you'll want to speak to at some point. I imagine you'll want to try to secure the alliance of at least one of them, probably preferably more. But those three are going. You know, I'm just going to slide it over here. I'm going to slide these things around a bit. So we have Makota Intan also going. We got 4 different groups here. Coming over to visit. Now, there are 2 groups that we're not sure about if we want to invite. The first of these that I think I would want to discuss is, are we inviting Microsporidia, Chantrell's nation?
Ooh.
That seems to be something which would mostly be up to, well, it would be up to Chantrell and Vern if they want to even extend the invitation to begin with, right? Even if the invitation's extended, would they be able to attend? I think just Chantrell, you would know that it's unlikely they would be able to attend in, like, large number. They might be able to send a small delegation with the aid of some magic or whoever happens to be nearby who could represent. But you also know...
It's just that guy we keep running into.
Jameson.
Like, no, war. Let's go to war with them. You can't be trusted.
So theoretically, you could extend that invitation, but who would be sent and what they would do, that's sort of unknown, right? How that would go. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys if you even want to bring that extra group into the equation or not.
Yeah.
I think Vern would be way into it, but it would be up to Chantrell.
I get more Chantrells?
Oh my gosh. Chantrell will, logically sounds weird, will put out that, hey, really, we're just up here as quote-unquote scouts. I think we could invite them, but I like giving all of the disclaimers of I don't know that anyone would even be able to come, or even more than like a few, or where specifically they would be from, because things are kind of iffy about who they would want to send up here. But I think it's a good opportunity to at least like send an invitation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I want to get to know your nation. I want to figure out, I don't know, how they work. It's fascinating.
Chantrell's just like, I want everyone to come here too.
Aw.
She's enjoyed being above ground a lot, which is not Amoson's thing. So
Surprising, considering what I've put her through.
Considering how often she has flown through the air.
Yeah.
I'm surprised as well. I think that instead of becoming terror, it became an adrenaline rush.
Oh, yeah, that's dangerous. I love it.
I'm imagining, even though, you know, they weren't side by side for it, I'm imagining a cut between Chantrell being like on airships during combat and like all of this adrenaline rushing, and Amoson going like surfacing somewhere near a volcano and being thrown into the air, and it being pure fear, right? Just like just getting those like quick cuts between the two of them as if they were happening at the same time. All right.
Accurate.
Well, in
I mean,
that
if he
case,
got thrown through the air by a volcano, and that's all that. Oh, that's the only bad thing that happened during it. I think he's lucky.
oh no, he definitely talked about the burns he's gotten, the
He would.
the horrifying creatures he's run into.
I mean, lava's part of his. Well, magma's part of his domain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from downstairs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But he keeps calling it lava like it's our thing.
The surface lava.
Yep.
Unlike our nutritious and valuable
Beautiful magma.
magma. Clean burning magma.
All right. So I imagine this invitation is relayed via Chantrell, your
Carrier mole.
No. Dude, Chantrell, you have a contact who you deliver reports to, who I think a sortie or two ago we brought up like, oh, you probably should have be talking to her to them soon, or
Yes.
have talked to them recently. Probably there was one earlier on where we should have had a scene and we did not. But at this point, we'll definitely relay this via Pibrine, who is a logistical officer supporting the scouting efforts. Now, I'll leave it up to you how much in detail you want to go. Like, do you want to... Do we want to zoom into this conversation in character, or do you want to basically meet up with Pibrine and be like, hey, here's this invitation, relay it if you can, and just like leave it at that?
Is Pibrine one for small talk?
I think Pibrine is a very curious individual, which is why they are very suited to collating all of these reports from all the scouts, right? Very good at asking follow-up questions and cutting for important details, but while also respecting your time, right?
Yeah. Okay, I think that we could benefit from at least a brief zoom in.
Yeah, sure. Sounds fair to me. My question is, are you going alone? Are you bringing Vern or the rest of the retinue with you? Imagine usually you do these alone, but I don't know if circumstances have altered.
No.
Okay.
Like, I'll probably tell them I am going to go relay the message, but I'm not going to be inviting anyone with me because it'd be... One, I think it'd be boring for them. And two, I don't want to scare my friend. Well, if it was Amazon, I would scare him. It's not, but just like focusing. There's a lot of context that they don't have.
Right. Exactly. All right, so then I imagine we follow Chantrell moving somewhere into a cavern in the canyon, one that you've traversed a few times now, whether for reports and probably, if not the one that you ascended through, very close to it, to meet up with Pibrine, who is a particularly large, though very light, and very spindly, I suppose would be the word, mycelia. One with long, silent strides that allows them to cover vast distances swiftly and safely, and also to sneak up on people very easily, even if that's not intentional. I imagine Pibrine as sort of being the type of entity that is much closer to the ceiling than they are to the floor. Like very narrow but long legs, and most of the body, like upper body and arms, are all like towards the top of the cavern. And either Pibrine has like multi-jointed legs and sort of bends down, or Chantrell, being relatively tall herself, right, either stands back a little or steps up on a rock to get to like up to also be head at the top of the cave, sort of.
I could see a ledge, yeah.
Yeah.
Getting up on a ledge so it's easier to talk.
Yeah, so standard report information that Chantrell has made in the past, like things that are usually conveyed are things like potential allies, potential threats, opportunities, dangers, all sorts of information that Microspiridium might need to be aware of should they choose to surface in this area, or that might influence whether or not they do at all, right? How do you think Chantrell usually goes through this? Is it a very business-like, formal report, or is it very casual?
I think she's tried to be formal and just can't keep it serious. She gets too excited.
Then I imagine Pibrine sort of mirrors that energy, and so when Chantrell, when they and Chantrell meet, Pibrine senses you can feel like the link up once you're within range, right? And you get a very casual like, "What are you bringing me this time?"
A letter.
A letter. Now that's unconventional. Do tell.
Yes. So, as I have mentioned before, Vern is working on establishing a new nation that will be more in tune with the general populace, and it has been making great strides. And there's going to be a gala, and a whole bunch of people are going to be coming in from other nations as well because the blockade has been broken, and we're wondering if, obviously not everything has to happen at once, but the invitation, proceeds to hand over the letter, is here if anyone would like to send a small delegation to investigate, to listen in, to see the surface in a diplomatic manner.
You relay this information probably over the psychic link, and then once the summary is like fully passed on, that just happens to be when the two finally meet up face to face. And Pabrine's like slightly tilted, owl-like cocked head, right? As they take the letter and sort of like tuck it into their satchel. A gala, you say? I'm sure someone of the Policidium would be interested, though given all of the instability up above, that makes it a particularly risky but beneficial time, or this makes it a particularly risky but beneficial time to make ourselves known.
Exactly. I knew you would understand. So, I of course understand if things do not pull forward all the way, but I think that it would be beneficial to at least consider it. Also, there's going to be some really good food there.
At the mention of good food, there's like this little, again over the psychic link, right? Like a little emotional, not spoken in words, but of Pabrine being like, oh, now that sounds interesting and exciting, and you can almost you can taste her like craving the unknown tasting, right? Like,
yes!
Her, like a little bit of hunger, right? But all unspoken, but
that's what a link does.
Yep. And then as the one who's been working most closely with this Vern, should we make ourselves known, do you believe that there is, and not to put this, there's a brief pause, like the Policidium will want to know what will most make this worth the risk. Do you believe that there's a chance for us to make a lasting alliance, and one that would provide something of use to Microsporidia?
Oh, absolutely. I don't know all of the details because I'm not a negotiator person, but I do know that there's a lot of trade opportunity, which would be great. There's a whole entire world, she's gesturing. She doesn't need to, but she does. There's a whole world of things that we don't regularly have access to above ground, and it's a new nation trying to get trade relations going. That sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
And in your opinion, as the one up there, and witnessing the birth of this fledgling nation, how would you describe the risk of if we were to get involved, but this fledgling nation were to falter? What are the dangers that might blow back on all of us? And I think at this question, you similarly feel a soreness of Pabrine from a diplomatic encounter gone awry, not with a surface nation, but with a fellow subterranean one years past, right? Like an old wound that still occasionally acts up in their body, right? And you feel that, so...
Well, for the time being, the only thing that they know is that we exist. Everything else is still a mystery, and we can keep it that way until things settle down more if needed. There is a lot of risk, but that is another reason why this gala is being held, and to try and get some more allies. There's a whole bunch of other nations that are also going to be establishing and figuring this out, and if there's a lot of allies, obviously things are going to look better. So I think that question will have to wait until after the gala for a more substantial report. Yes, there is instability still and questions and worry, but that's kind of how it is with literally everything. And if I hate to say this, but if things go really badly, we just don't use that entrance again.
Yeah.
We put the fake rock over the cover again.
Nobody knows how or where anything is unless it's something I don't know about. But I haven't said anything, and Ameson hasn't.
Yeah.
Actually, we got a report that Ameson said the land dwellers have a death ray.
Oh yeah, he said that, didn't he?
Oh, he's talking about the flashlight, right?
I think Fabrine would, getting Chantrell's comments there, respond with a measured take on the situation. Much to be gained, but much to potentially lose by entangling ourselves too early. But I'm not the decision maker here. Right? So it's like there's like a little bit of like, but I'm just the messenger. You can feel that, the sense of curiosity that they've got, right? Just like, well, if it was up to Fabrine would go just to find out about all of these different groups and people. But is that worth the risk? Well, that's we suppose up for the group as a whole. So I'm going to now make you an offer, Chantrell. You do not have to do anything. If you just want to like leave your words to stand as they are and allow me, the GM, to interpret the response, feel free to say so, and I will just do as I think makes sense based off of what you've said. But if there's any particular way you want to tilt the report, and you would like to make a roll in that direction, I would invite you to describe what Chantrell is hoping to achieve, how she tilts the report to try to achieve that goal. But if you're also like Chantrell's like, hey, I don't want to make this decision, you do not have to roll. You can just leave it at that.
Chantrell will subtly try to tilt it a little bit in favor of just being like, things like there are rough times, but the positive times are doing really well, and if this goes well, it goes really well. Like, this is an opportunity to get in at the beginning of a big thing. And Chantrell is like, this is like one of the things that she probably was noted for was her optimism. So she's like, this is an amazing opportunity. I know safety first and everything, but also risk and reward. There is both.
Right.
So, and also, of course, get across that she has complete faith that Vern will do her utmost. And obviously, that doesn't guarantee success, but it's a pretty dang good indicator of attempts.
Yeah. Reasonable and fair. I think it's essentially encouraging them to try to take the opportunity, knowing that, like, hey, look, you might not be able to send a full group, etc., but like send someone. Like, this is a good time to.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if you don't say specifically we're in, showing up and showing interest is better than nothing.
Yeah. Sounds fair.
Cool. What do I roll?
Whatever skill PCs get to decide the skills in this system. So there's probably a good argument for sway. If you think you said subtly and like, gently, if you wanted to not so subtly, then I think there's a good argument for command. I don't think command comes across subtly. I think command
What about
is...
study? Because Chantrell
Oh.
has been very cognizant of everything going on and how it can connect with microsporidia, etc.
I think that's reasonable. What I almost imagine there is that this report comes with like a thorough written documentation, right? Of like all
Yeah,
these
that
details,
tracks.
right?
That tracks. Chantrell wants this to go well.
All right, yeah, sure, go for it.
Okay, so rolling study, what position and effect?
I think you have just call it controlled standard. Yeah,
Cool.
because the Policidium, like the seat of power, will have its own biases, but okay. all right,
Okay,
partial
okay, I'll
success.
take it.
Partial success is still a success, right? Let me just note that down in my thing. All right, got it. All right, it's
Sweet.
done. I've noted it, and the message is on its way. Now, due to the
Okay.
tight timing involved, you may not know if anyone's showing up or who they are until the gala is upon you. So you might not be able to
Yeah.
interact with them much beforehand or plan. But that's
That's-
just
Yeah, how it goes.
that's just how it goes. It's unrelated.
She's gonna be nervous.
Mhm.
But before oh dang, we were just talking. What's their name?
Sabrine?
Emerson?
Pabrine! Before Pabrine completely goes away, Chantrell will also be like, next time we meet, we should like get food, or I can bring you something, because I don't know what you've been able to try of all of the foods, but there's so many good stuff.
Yeah, I think Sabrine is like, well, protocol says that I should be remaining hidden and not venture above myself, so as to ensure that the messages make it below. But ... Like, and there's a strong. But if there's a retinue of our own venturing topside, perhaps right?
Yeah.
Perhaps there will be a short temporary exception to this.
Perhaps they can leave me one fry in the bag.
A single Frenched fry for Pabrine.
Wait. Hold on. French is actually a deity in the
in this
in the
lexicon,
campaign.
yeah.
French is it's just a name. What does it mean? Great question, but it's it's just someone.
It turns out French Stewart is a former king known for his oil reserves, cooking oil reserves.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Like 3 campaigns ago, there was a France-inspired nation, and so luckily none of you have to be subjected to my awful French accents for the entire.
You tried to with the Marquisiate in Root.
That's true.
Remember?
Well, I meant in this one, but yeah, you're right. That did happen in Root too.
And I loved every time we did it.
Yeah. All right. Well, unless there's anything else you want to add to this encounter, Chantrell, we can.
Now we good.
All right. Next question I have. Something that came up as a possibility that I feel like needs considerable in-retinue discussion is, are you inviting the occupation forces, including Prince Eteocles?
I thought we decided not to.
Yeah.
Did we
Fuck those
decide no?
guys.
I don't remember deciding no. I remember hearing.
I remember
I don't
saying
remember
he sounds like a
deciding.
loser, but I didn't.
Now that I remember.
Yeah.
All right.
He's gonna get in trouble with mommy. That's why I wanted to get him here and be like, listen, man, you don't have to
Wait.
just sit there and wait for her to kill you. You can just be my friend.
Mhm.
Oh, I thought you maybe bring him here and we like carry him.
Aw.
We do that too. We do both. We carry him and then we like give him a pep talk and bring him on our side.
Kind of, yeah. I'm just gonna hit him with the sway beam.
And with the sway beam, I mean,
Me and Chalice.
if that's what you want to try to do, You're more
So
than
is that a
welcome
yes
to.
or a no?
Yeah, that's my
I don't know if it's too risky. If everyone's like, "That's fucking crazy,"
retinue. Your opinions.
yeah.
I mean,
What do I think the nations, who are all other nations, will think if we invite them?
Like the other people coming along.
Yeah.
I think if you are inviting the prince, you probably want to inform the other nations that the prince is being invited. It would probably reflect on you, and it would reflect on you in that you're attempting to take a diplomatic approach, but you're also doing so in a way that potentially endangers your other guests, right?
Yeah.
Which is why you
let's.
almost, Chalice, I think you would know that if you're going to do this, you need to tell them, because otherwise they may take it very poorly, right?
Mhm.
But they might admire that you're trying to do a diplomatic approach, but they might also perhaps send, and now this is something for whether you guys want it, but they may send more armed people to protect their own politicians if they show up, which means you're going to have a lot of
Yeah.
soldiers in your capital.
Here's what I will advise Vern.
Mhm.
While I think it could have some advantages, I think that it could be a bit distracting from the ultimate message that you are a new. What was your title again?
Oh, I think I was gonna go with Queen.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yes,
That,
Queen.
that you are the new queen. It's not about him, it's about you. So I just don't want anything to take away from that. However, if you think that it's worth doing, I need to resend some invitations.
Okay, change of plans.
This is why Chalice is so stressed.
Merlin's gonna speak him and go, listen, there's a very ancient, powerful affliction known throughout all the magic lands. It's called FOMO. So what we do is we have the biggest shindig. Everyone will want to come, and if they miss it, they're gonna be upset and want to come to the next one. So we
It's so
show
true.
the
That's so
prince that we know how to party hard. He'll be more likely to side with it than leave his drag of an ant.
Mm.
True.
And we don't have to invite him at all. We have exclusivity.
I think he's out of the picture.
Mm.
Well, Chantrell, Shion, any opinions you want?
Jealous, you can stop sending those invitations.
Starts to white out everything.
I think
Yeah.
Chantal would also advise against it, just because if any of her people show up, they want it to be chill.
Yeah, peaceful. I understand.
Don't invite your ex to the party, yeah.
All right.
Xion, I don't think has an opinion on this, but I think that they would be a lot more stressed out because this is dangerous to. It would be dangerous to Vern, and I guess we would have to watch out in case, which we are already going to have to do so. But
Yeah.
the odds of there being some kind of foul play would be even higher.
It's true. It is true. All right. So it sounds like the entire retinue is advocating for no, and I think Vern was being swayed before we heard from everyone. But
hmm
I don't know, Vern, do you want to make a case? Otherwise, you've already sort of did. So unless you have any final retorts, I think it sounds like the consensus is on no. So
Correct. It is a no.
all right. Let me note that down.
Let me delete some stat blocks.
Yep, let me
Not
just
that
go
this
through.
game has stat blocks, but
Remove that one. All right. I think I got that there. All right. Now we have our list of invitees.
Mhm.
So, which is essentially these 4 flags up here in the corner, right? You need a reminder of who's who at any point. Feel free to let me know. I know I glazed over a lot, and politics
can you
is a
put
lot
the
in general.
text underneath so we don't have to ask?
Sure. It will take me a minute to get through all of
Thank
them.
you.
I gotta move stuff around. I will go ahead and start doing that. While I'm doing that, is there any... I know, Chalice, you have your acquire asset that we're waiting on for now. So either we can do that, or if anyone has any information they want to gather ahead of the gala.
Can I do that and also lump in an invitation of my own?
Whoa!
Ooh.
So
Who are you trying to invite? And are you
I
running it
want to
by the retinue first?
yeah, I'm gonna invite some people of the magical persuasion to like come by and check it out.
When you say of the magical persuasion, you mean...
I don't want the wizard mafia there, if you're asking there that.
Oh god. Okay, good.
I mean, the boys are obviously working
Right.
security detail, but they might be schmoozing around a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But I'm gonna invite Bennett, the astronomer, who helped me with my search for my family,
Mhm.
and Levra, a priestess of the fates and speaker of the dead.
Ooh.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, sounds fair.
It's a party.
I was gonna say, it sounds like...
man's party.
It sounds like from what Vern was describing earlier that, like, basically any NPC you guys have met that's within this territory could theoretically come here. Is there anyone you want to make sure... This is a good transition here. Let me note down in on my guest list page. I know you mentioned your astrologer friend last time or between, but you said, let me grab both their names and put them in this list just so I have everything in one place. But both Bennett and Levra.
I want the people from Tormenta Espinal to get a specific invitation.
Okay.
Yeah.
They deserve it.
I want to invite
yeah.
the characters from Root. Biffy to be here, and
Oh my
You just
God.
want to do a funny voice.
yeah.
They could sell snow cones.
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
They're actually like in the floorboards on their own mission.
I hope Rowan comes,
Mhm.
Oh, he better.
but I don't think there's a way to really reliably contact him.
Mhm.
He'll just show. I mean, maybe he'll just show up. Who knows?
Who
Because he'll
knows?
be in the court.
I hope only that person from that particular session shows up and no one else.
And no one else.
No
I
one
mean,
else. No one.
I mean, look, if
I'll
you guys
trust
if you
this.
guys are not inviting the prince, the chances of vampires showing up are very low. You know,
Hmm.
if you were
That's
inviting the
true,
prince,
but
so
Altrecious is coming, so that means someone's coming. I hope.
That's my eyelashes.
I mean, if anyone's coming from there, that's a good guess of who it might be. But we'll see.
Mordio
What
just
about
makes new characters and sends them instead.
I mean,
Yeah.
look,
That would be very funny, actually.
I love me some recurring characters, but I also like to make it so that when new people play in a campaign, they don't need to have been in the prior ones. So, you know, trying not to bombard with past characters is a goal of mine. Try to use them very, very sprinkles, right? Not a,
Yes.
but not how I put
think
sprinkles
Mordio
on
should be
ice
in
cream
charge
because
of
I
Star
use so
Wars.
many sprinkles on ice cream. But you know, all right. So we got the
Sprinkles and
Leparidos
jimmies.
folk, these couple people from Merlin's contacts. Anyone else have anyone they want to make sure absolutely is there? I have a list of people who I think would be there, but if there's anyone you want to make sure is mentioned,
I think Merlin. Who's in charge of like sending out the invitations?
I imagine it depends on who is getting the invitation. Like if it's someone important, it's probably Chalice. Like if it's like international, but if it's more like smaller scale, then I imagine it's very informal, right? Like it's more like, hey,
Shit.
there's going to be a big party. The palace is going to be open to everyone. Come on down, right? Like Vern, correct me if I'm wrong. Your intent is that people are only really having their identity checked to go into the super secret make a deal room, right?
Yeah,
Like,
pretty much.
Yeah, otherwise,
I'm
you're-
imagining like a mezzanine for that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So they can overlook the party. It'll be like like the first floor of City Hall would be open and as many people mingling there as they want. All the doors would be open so people can come and go.
Right.
And then everyone, with a title
second
basically
floor.
is up in a mezzanine somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so the Paris level hitman. Good.
Yep.
Yep. You know, my thoughts also went to Hitman during this this description. I
That's
don't know if that
awesome.
bodes well for your
No.
party, but let's
No
just,
bald
let's just
men
leave it at
allowed.
that.
With bar
Look,
coats over
everyone
their
grow
head.
hair now.
fancy.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, Merlin would like to invite his kids,
Hmm.
but you know they don't really want to be in contact.
Well, you
with
only
him.
know one of their locations, right?
Yeah, and he didn't really pry to see if Miriam knew where Brian and Thomas were, but he's like he's tearing himself apart over. It's like, I'm gonna be strong, you know. I need to go, you know, let them live their own lives. But eventually he breaks down and writes a letter to Miriam. Says, "This is happening over in Tawam. It's gonna be here. Don't need to bring anything fancy. You don't even have to show up at City Hall. Just like have a good time." And I put it in a little letter, and I set it on fire, and that's where the magic happens, and it tries to find her.
Right. And since you know the
good.
location, I think you can feel pretty confident it was delivered, right?
As long as she's still there.
Yep, as long as
Yeah.
she's still there.
Yeah, that's all I can think of in terms of inviting people. We said Tormenta Espinal.
Yep,
For
yeah,
the-
the
oh my God.
Leporitos
Yeah.
folk.
My computer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Noemi and
Oh.
Emil. Is that what's his name?
Ariel.
Ariel.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know where I came up with Emil.
Sorry.
And then there's our pirate friends, but that's gonna be more of the people thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the pirate friends, I think if you invite them to the party in the city, they'll probably do that. I don't know if you want them or if they would want to be in the fancy room.
Yeah, Juniper should
No.
probably know they have free reign of like anywhere they want to go in the city.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
With their crew. In terms of them being fully pirates, and we're talking with a bunch of
Privateers.
nation. They maybe have
Yeah, yeah.
privateers. I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah, that's
That's,
true.
that's their business. I'm raising my hands. I don't know.
They are
Yeah,
currently
so-
privateering against. Actually, what I think they probably would be privateering because you're not inviting the prince. They're not currently privateering against any of your attendees, though they have
See, I bought them
skirmished
some
with
time.
Red in the past. But that's not like
Okay,
what their
okay.
current thing is, right? Like basically, ever since they became your vassals, they've been mostly going south into green territory.
So I imagine their invitation more reads like, "Come enjoy the night market."
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sounds good. We don't need to iterate through every single NPC, but I just want to make sure that there's anyone special we want to be aware of. We're aware of them.
No, I'm thinking about the people we saw in the jail cells at the mall, but
Oh yeah, you want them
I
as
don't know that
guests,
they
wanna go
as
anywhere.
special guests to be like, "Hey, sorry, you got traumatized. Want to come
yeah,
hang out?"
There's a coupon
more
for
so
some
in the
street
video
porn.
game where I didn't exhaust their dialogue, and I'm like, oh damn it, I should have done that.
Hold on, I don't remember their names. I have to go back and look.
Yeah,
They were
there's a dwarf woman and somebody else.
Oh,
A knight? Actually, yeah, there was the knight who was formerly of Byrne's parents' kingdom, right?
Oh my god, that's right,
Marcella
you better
and
invite him.
Dario Danilo.
Dario,
Dario Danilo.
a good Italian boy.
All right.
He was almost gonna make the cut for my boys, but he didn't know any magic, so he wasn't any use to me.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
All right. Yeah, all right, both of those. All right. My next questions are any information we're gathering aside from this acquire asset? Like, is there anything you guys want to know going into this? Anything you want to prepare going into this? Although, depending on what you want to prepare, it might require Chalice's acquire asset, but
Merlin would like to just set up some little safe safety backroom holes for Vern in case the shit goes bad. And we need to
Oh,
like,
that'd be
hold her
awesome.
off.
Spend some time with the boys setting up some arcane defenses.
Yeah.
I think that's something where we don't have to roll for that now, but if it comes up, we'll need to roll for it middle of
Gotcha.
the
As
of
it
the
happens.
thing.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
All
but
right.
I think that's a very reasonable thing for Merlin to be spending his time doing in the days before. You know, that makes a lot of sense. You know, feel free to if it comes to that.
Yeah. I figured this is going to be a plot point, but I'm worried about the Eopics I promised the head mage position to, and then now that the council has their opinion made, I want there to be a way where I can safely get them away from each other or something like that. Like, girls, stop fighting. No.
Okay.
But
now,
I don't know how further to do that without being like a Mordio, please take mercy on me button.
All right. That's it's the Mordio have mercy on me button, right? You kind of know that these two groups are both relatively important, so excluding one from the fancy room will
Have consequences.
will have consequences
Yeah.
with the one you
Remember that.
exclude. But inviting both, if they both choose to show up, would potentially lead to a conflict. So
Yeah.
I think it's sort of, you have to choose whether you want to take a guaranteed slight to avoid the chance of a conflict, and if so, who you're slighting.
Mm-hmm.
Or perhaps you could somehow persuade one of them, probably the Opix guy, because that's the one who actually works for you, that no, he
Yeah.
doesn't actually want to be at this party. Right?
Yeah, I could do that.
I mean, he does have new shiny things to investigate with magic.
Look,
I could be like, you know you're going to the wrong neighborhood to be the guy who wants to control the chaos, right? Like, this is the exact wrong place for you to be. Maybe don't bring that stuff up and we can talk about it in a more civil time. That would be her argument against that.
Okay, I just want. So basically, Vern, just for here's the GM mirroring what I think you're saying back at you, and you can correct me. But you're essentially saying to the guy, "Hey, I promise that you could come over here and do this work, but we're gonna have you do it secretly because everyone else I need support from would tell us both to cut it out." So you're basically saying, "I'm going to go. We're going to keep doing our work, but I'm going to lie by omission to these other people about it."
Oh,
Is that what
kinda, yeah. That
Okay.
is kind of where I'm at.
All right. Okay.
Not secret forever, just
Right,
secret
right.
for a party.
Secret for the party
Don't
for
ruin my
now and for
vibes.
any of the binding alliances that you can negotiate during it.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Can you give me a roll of some kind just to see, for me to note how it comes across?
Sure. Oof, that would be.
what would that roll even be?
I think command would be something, because it is a little bit more like in his face, like, listen to me right
Right.
now.
Yeah.
It's a matter of very import. Risky standard?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say this one is risky. Probably there's not going to be any severe consequences for failure immediately, but it will impact your relationship if it goes poorly, right?
Sure. Alright.
Fingers crossed.
Can I take stress yet? Or
You
is
can
this
if you want.
free?
If you want to take the stress before the party even starts, you're allowed to.
You only get one.
You only get one extra die. Yep.
That's true.
Well, I was gonna say, don't you wait? Can you take stress anytime for that?
Yeah, but only once per
Yeah.
roll.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's just a matter if you think
I will do that.
You'll do it. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Take your extra die. Success.
Woo!
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I knew you had it in you.
Thank you.
You're
think-
so good at lying.
Your confidence means the world to me.
I
Mr.
think
Liar
what this
Man.
role comes across as is he believes you when you say that, like, look, we're still doing the goal, but, like, practically speaking, I need more support. So we just want them to not ask the question. So let's just keep you out of sight, you and your work out of sight.
Be cool, man. Be cool.
And I think he senses the truth that you earnestly mean it, sees the wisdom in that, and essentially gives sort of a, House Yapix is very busy with its investigations right now anyway. You'll have to apologize on our behalf should the topic of us come up, but we simply couldn't pull ourselves away. And he says that with the this is our very official sounding excuse that we will use.
Yes!
Right?
Yeah.
I knew you were cool.
My guy.
So, yep. No.
Not right now, but later. I'm also curious what the heck they've learned about that giant laser stuff.
Oh, yeah. I think they're in the process of, but we definitely need to talk about that after the gala. For sure.
It's not party conversation.
All right. Any other information we're gathering?
I don't know that it has any immediate action required, but with the prospect of more Microsperdia showing up, Chantrell will want to learn more about the other nations, because she has never really even tried looking into it. It's just like, I should probably have an idea.
That's fair. I think to avoid me info dumping,
yeah,
rather than me giving you a rundown on each one right now, beyond like the little short blurbs I gave you earlier, why don't we save this roll for when it comes up during the conversations?
Sounds good to me.
And then we can like retroactively be like, this is your research. That sounds reasonable.
Sweet.
All right. Chalice, do you have a particular nation you want to focus your acquire asset on?
Let's see. Well, perhaps it's not too much metagaming, but I would say I feel pretty okay with Altressus. 1, we met someone from there already, and 2, they're also like kind of a new nation. So I feel like we're gonna have a lot of common ground with them. The Laurel Concord, I think, will be interested in any new technologies that we might be bringing. They might be interested in the ancient mechs that we did, and perhaps we can get something going with them. So I feel like there's maybe an in from there. So the 2 I'm thinking of is either Makoto Intan or Arhema. Does anybody have like a preference as to who I want to really dig into, like, and know about? Who's most who feels like the most trouble out of these?
Yeah, who's poised to kill us?
Yeah, that's true. Makoto Intan that's the red one, right?
Yeah.
So maybe them, because they are so close to enveloping us. It might be good to figure out how we can get them to get off our backs and be diplomatic about it.
Get off of my back.
Yeah, that sounds fair. I would say that the 2 on the left are incredibly dangerous to have as enemies, but as long as you don't make them enemies, you're kind of fine, right?
What
Makoto
makes
Intan, you have to worry about them. What? Sorry,
what makes them not as dangerous?
What makes these 2 not as dangerous is that they're much smaller countries. The 2 on the left are like worldwide.
That's true, but they're also right next to us.
Exactly. That's sort of what I'm getting at, right? Like, Arhema or the Laurel Concord, even if you don't secure an alliance, as long as you don't make them hate you, it's unlikely to be a problem. Makoto Intan, if you don't get them to like you, even them just being neutral on you is kind of a problem, right? Like, because all that means is someone else nearby they have to like more, and it can be a problem.
Right now, they're the top bun to our burger.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that makes a lot of sense to try to learn a good bit about them. Why don't you make your acquire asset roll? And I think this is a great one for Diatretta to talk to you about, because she certainly has traded with them extensively in the past.
Oh yeah.
Okay, great. Acquire So is that a downtime? I'm doing a downtime roll for this
Yep,
then?
downtime roll. Yeah, this is your
Okay.
unused downtime roll from earlier.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right, success. You gain an asset of tier 3 quality. All right, that's a pretty good. You get. Your aunt proves to be a font of information. She gives you a rundown on
Font is a
the
font.
history, not just the recent history, some of which you know. And again, not to exposition dump too much, but just a very quick rundown. Makoto Intan is run by a collection of essentially nobility, right? Called the Permatas. There is an emperor of Makoto Intan far away, much further north. And 2 of these lords are here. One's based here, one's based down here. These lords are chosen not based hereditarily, but based off of their artisan skills, more or less, right? Like, it's not necessarily just like beautiful art, but it can also be like novel or like creation, right? Basically, the emperor is like, if you can inspire me, then I will reward you with title of lord, right? And like grant you territory. That's sort of how their nation works. There are 2 of them nearby, one of whom their artistry is very conventional, and they trade a lot with your nation, right? For the raw materials from Tuam, for the glass from Najma. They do a lot of alchemy to produce like potent dyes and things like that. A lot of very, very artsy sorts of people in that scientific way. The other area is down in the lava lands, and they're producing feats of industry that are inspiring. Great power plants and like factory cities, like on lava fields and that sort of stuff. Ooh. Right? So those are the 2 main areas. And they very recently took this northeastern area, which used to be independent and an ally of Vern's parents. But shortly after Vern's parents died, these 2 lords were like, hey, this area is without their allies. It's ours now, right? And so they took it.
Yeah.
So that one, there's still some remnants of the old power there, some of whom do have connections to your family, Chalice, and maybe are a part of this acquire asset role that you've made, because you've now secured connections with them through your aunt, right? I think, is there any specific information you want me to give you now, or do we just want to save this for when things come up?
Let's save it.
Okay, sounds good. You've got that information. Anything else from the group? Because I think we have all the information we need for our engagement roll. We are going to just have our nighttime celebration. Oh wait, what are you guys doing in the sky? Get out of there! Get out of there! We don't. Magitek soldiers. We don't need those either. Get out of here.
Well, hold on now.
You forgot the part where we attacked all of our guests, but you didn't invite the prince. We know.
We disguise them as statues, and when the time arises.
Oh.
But all right. So, it is quite. We did kind of go for a bit. We started a little late, but we went for a good bit deciding everything. Why don't we do our typical roll, take a quick break, and then go do the beginning of this sortie? I doubt we'll get through all of it in the next 45 minutes, but we can at least get the party going.
Yeah.
Yippee!
Let's get it started in here.
Who wants to roll?
Does my party planning committee want to roll, or should I do it?
I think the honor should go to Vern.
Yeah.
I will provide stress.
I believe the engagement
want stress?
roll
I
you
can
don't
be
get
stress for you.
for. You cannot spend stress on the engagement roll.
Dang!
Otherwise-
Frickin'. I offered.
Yep.
Engagement.
Yeah.
How do you get extra die on this one again?
All right, so if you click on engagement, there's the number of dice thing on the right. You start with 1 die. If the target is a higher tier faction, then you lose a die, which in this case, at least 2 of the attendees are in fact higher tier factions. So that'll bring us down to 0. I do think that I'm going to give you a +1 just by virtue of setting this up and putting all the planning into it to balance us back out. Like, I think you've created the opportunity to it. and brought together all of the diplomatic stuff I threw at you with a fun idea. So we're going to even that back out to a single die. Now you guys get to make your case that any of your other preparations are worth an extra die, or anything about your characters are worth.
Do we get an extra die if any of the other parties are lower than us?
You know what? I believe you do, but I don't think that's the case, because I think even... Let me look back at that other thing. I think even Makoto Intan is...
That's what I was going to ask, because they're a brand new, fresh from the ice.
Sorry, Altrecious. Yeah, they are 3 years stalled from the ice, but they're unfortunately taken very seriously, as when they thawed, new deities were born from their land, so that kind of made them a little... Yeah, they got a little extra sway.
Is that really?
Yeah, in fact, it's actually a huge thing. I'm not gonna get on it too much, but in our Hema, they now have to decide. They have to decide if they want to add an extra pillar to their flag, if there has to be a whole nother extra like seat on the council. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So
I see. Worth a shot.
So they're taking the chance to get away and party their hearts out.
But anyway, yeah. So they've got some good sway there, unfortunately. So I think you are the smallest fish at your own party, but they're all here for you. That's not obvious.
No one
say,
shows.
Right?
No one
We're gonna have an amazing party no matter what.
I'd be so embarrassed.
Oh my god. Well, we'd have a lot of food left over.
Yeah.
Shit, I hope they don't show.
I don't know. Would Vern gaining the ability to specifically be good at diplomatic conversations today? She's been putting herself through the ringer for that.
I think that's the ability that you have, but you know what I just thought of when Merlin said food left over? I just thought of that you guys have a lot of money you haven't spent, and if you want to go all out, I would say spend 1 coin for 1 extra die, 3 coins for 2 extra dice, or 6 coins for 3 extra dice.
We gotta spend some coin.
Yes.
It's just piling up in there.
Yeah.
We're just gonna
How much would
drip
that be,
out of our
5?
mind.
How
You
much
can,
we got?
Yeah.
yeah. If you want,
We got a lot.
Yeah, you got 8, so you could spend 1 of it for 1 die, 3 of it for 2 dice, or 6 of it for 3 dice.
6 of it for 3. I think I would like to do that.
Oh, 6
Which
for
one?
3?
Yep.
Wow.
We're going all
Empty the
out.
coffers.
You've never seen a better party than this.
Yeah.
All right, so I have 1 just for throwing the party.
Yep, so you're up to 4
4
total.
die.
Yep, you're up to 4.
Awesome. All right, without much more ado, I'm going to roll this thing now.
All right.
Yes! Oh my god, I'm glad we had all
Jesus
of those.
Christ, dude.
Thank you.
Damn.
Oh my god.
All right.
We
Very
still don't know
good.
which dice is added, which one is the roll for it.
I don't care. We got a good one.
Yep.
It was definitely worth it. It definitely wasn't a waste at all.
Yippee!
All right. Well, I know it's pretty late to be taking a break, but let's take a short break here, and then we'll do the beginning of our little party. Get everyone introduced before all the violence starts. I mean, no.
Hey.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Wait.
Cake
Look,
starts.
yeah. Look, again, you didn't invite the Prince group. I think things are going to be a lot calmer than they might have otherwise been. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
all right, let's take our quick break, and then we will be back shortly.
Yeah.
Liminal Branch Library.
All right, and we are back to get the party started before our session ends for this week.
Sorry.
Salud.
Yeah.
Here in Tuam at night, the sky above Tuam is abuzz as its airship ports, which, not to say that they don't get used, they do get used both for trade and for patrolling. And they also have the Aatos II, that big
Yes.
stolen ship now,
Oops.
just outside of it. But in addition to that, there's now a collection of all sorts of different airships converging.
Can you center the picture on the stream?
Oh, yes. Come here. There we go.
I try to only zoom in on this one crane in the canyon.
But we have airships of all different sorts assembling, from the ones that look honestly relatively similar to the ones that you have here as well, of Makota Intan. Perhaps theirs just have different hues adorning them, but otherwise sort of share that slapdash thrown together and refurbished kind of feel, even amongst the higher class of those coming over, who instead of like going with something that isn't slapdash, it's like upcycled, right? So recycled parts and pieces, styled to have that sort of flair. You get a
They got
very
it on D-Top.
Yeah, you get very classical, like, sky boats from the kingdom of Altrecius, where you have, it looks like a seafaring vessel with those little extra magitek bits or bobs along the bottom, just as it gently coasts through the sky. Arhema's vessels, very natural and old in their formation, appearing more like bits of something that, like, a chunk of earth was removed and then refined and carved until it learned how to fly. Right?
Wow.
Learned?
Yes, until it learned how to fly. And then the Concord itself, which has opted to send one of the shards of its capital city, the
Whoa.
city of Veda Ciel, the great teleporting city. They sent a district to join the sky above you, and they have all of their sleek, modern magitek zipping from the little district down to join in the festivities below. Now,
Damn, I think we're out of our league.
No, this is great.
all you really
We're gonna
need
have
to
so
do-
many cool friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you can convince half of the attendees to support you, Vern, you will be in a very strong position. Now, of
Half is a
course,
lot.
Half is a lot. And you also would... There's varying degrees of just, like, people leaving neutral. There definitely should be some tension, though, because it is the combined might of two of these attendees, of the Laurel Concord and Arhema, which crushed the Vampire Empire to the south. So, just like in a joint operation, put aside their differences and decided those vampires need to go. They need to scatter to the wind, right? So, don't offend these groups, but if you do, especially don't offend both of those, because that's a recipe for erasure. But let's talk a little bit about you have your successful engagement roll, which means that we're going to start with some productive conversations, but I would like to set the scene both with the attendees and with all of you. So would you like to describe yourselves first and where you imagine you're at in the parties, mingling, moving around as it's all getting started? Or do you want me to describe the attendees and then you can place yourselves once I've talked about who's here?
I
I'm
think no matter
wondering.
what- Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. No, you first, please.
I was gonna say, no matter what, I think Vern is trying to mingle in the bottom floor with everybody as much as she can.
With, like, the massive crowds.
Yeah.
All right. let's
They say
start,
chug, chug, chug.
in that case, let's start with what the retinue is doing as the party is getting started, and perhaps the delegations are. We see their airships up above descending, but they're not yet here, right? Like they're on their way, but the city of Tawam, the celebrations are sparking and and lighting up. So why don't we go through? Let's go through each of you. Tell me what you're up to and describe what your character's gala outfit is for the group. Vern, you already gave us a clue as to what you're trying to do, as what you're doing. So, could you describe for everyone what Vern looks like in this moment?
Yeah. So she has on her bracelet and it's activated at all times. So she has like a capelet of rainbow energy, just like it drapes down to the floor. But she's wearing a very simple, very shiny, the finest gown she's ever worn. It's like a deep forest green with black piping all around and gold accents. For this party, she does not wear her mask. She wears a simple chain that drapes from ear to ear across her face.
Like a
so
Frankie.
she doesn't. She's without the big ass ears. She's very much like coming to the public, earnestly, without covering her face and asking them to do the same respect for her.
Yeah. And you described her as being out amongst the people, not up in the reserved section, but speaking and greeting as many as you can. Yes.
Yep.
Then
She has her security detail. I imagine Shion and Chanterelle might be near her, if not like other guys we hired.
Right.
So
I mean,
she
you
has some
certainly have
protection.
soldiers who can do that in lieu of your allies if they have other things they need to be doing. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, you actually. So here's a question. I know, Katie, you wanted to make a little comic of Vern and Jaime at some point. That has not happened yet. So do you imagine Jaime is here at the party or not?
Yeah. If that comic were to have happened, it would have been a tenuous, like, okay, I don't hate you. Let's see where we can like bring this new weird chapter of our friendship. She would definitely invite him, and I think he'd be very uncomfortable.
But like,
But would he show?
He would show up and just sort of be like, make sure to show face, and then sort of try to make himself scarce or be on the perimeter. Is that the?
Yeah. And I think she would embarrass him by being like, "Here is our preeminent stonemason. He's incredible. Everyone meet him. Everyone hire him."
Yeah, I imagine the amount of times he tries to disengage from your endorsement is quite high, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we get little vignettes of Vern and Jaime. He shows up. Things are awkward, but Vern endorsing him trying to pull away, but Vern not letting him. There's that glimpse into the sort of relationship they had before things got a little bit got as complicated as they are now.
Yeah.
We also get little vignettes of like Osprey swinging by before, heading out into the markets. Just sort of like Osprey's the sort where it's like, oh, wanted to come in and see the palace, but isn't the type to spend her whole night in the palace, right? Like,
yeah.
So there's probably like a brief conversation, a greeting as she weaves her way in and then back out. You probably see the rescued prisoners who you made sure were here to like be like, hey, you're fine, come to the party. We get a little greeting from each of those two. And let's hear next from Chanterelle. Chanterelle, the Microsporidia delegation, if they are arriving, has not yet arrived. So where would Chanterelle be at this point of the party, at this early stage?
Well, Chantrell did get dressed up fancy, has a long dark teal gown with a large slit so that if she needs to fight, she can.
Fair.
Asymmetrical one off the shoulder and long poofy sleeves that like circle around the wrist so that they kind of drape but not fully, so it's more like a balloon effect.
Very nice.
Yes, and of course also has her sword at her side that will never leave her.
Right, of course.
And
Dressed up, but still working today.
Yeah, given how the last party went.
Just using it as a kebab sword.
Enjoying the food.
Very sanitary.
Oh no, you're doing fugu de chao.
With the what?
It's the Brazilian thing where you put meat on a sword and then roast it, and then eat up the sword.
But Chantrell entered with Vern, kind of made sure things are going well, but has kept a little bit more of a distance, not as a like I'm keeping my distance from you, but more of a I'm keeping an eye out for the delegation, any other people, anything weird. Just like she's a little bit on edge, but in an excitable way. So she's not twitching for her sword, but she is a little bit just like not staying in one spot for very long. Happy to chat with anyone, but never for super long.
Right.
It's like me for real.
Yeah. That's fair. I imagine Chantrell moving throughout these big crowds as a lot of people, once the gates are open, sort of swarming in, perhaps greeting some of the people coming in, but also keeping a close eye to make sure that no one's up to anything suspicious. But you also get to meet and greet with some of the local, I don't know if delegation is the right word, but some of the local important people like Ariel and Noemi as they make their way in. They pass you by, Chantrell, and greet you, giving you once again their thanks for your interventions earlier before continuing on deeper into the palace. And yeah, I think as we see Chantrell moving about through the party, I would ask where Shion is at in the party and what Shion's dressed like.
Well, one of these questions is easier to answer, so I'll tackle it first. So, Shion would be wearing a yukata. Simple. That was their friend Kiji. Probably convinced her to wear it and went so far as to just make it. And this yukata would be like in that sort of brown and gold color scheme that is being used by like the flag of our nation.
As for, she said our nation.
As for what Shion would be doing, I feel like there would be somewhat like concerned with whether they can find any information on our Brayhan tag or the new alias that they have, but because all of these people are from different nations that have nothing to do with the I'm not sure if that would be possible.
Right.
Do you think Shion would be do you think Shion would be interested in the nations that helped wipe out the vampires at all?
That's a good question because I feel like Shion probably resents those nations somewhat.
Interesting.
They deprived her chance to do it herself, right?
Yeah, basically. And also, like, it wasn't so much them being rescued freed as much as getting new masters, right? Like, obviously, they probably were not treated the same, but it's not like they would have gone back to their old ways of the clan as a result, right?
Right. It's like you're no longer being trained as murder machines for a vampire, but you aren't exactly just given your autonomy back, right? Like you're still under someone else's constraint.
So, like, I feel like if Shion wanted to learn something from them, try to approach, it would probably be from the angle of, like, if they know anything about what happened to the other vampires, if they are still trying to find anyone who escaped. But like, I feel like they probably were more interested in the territory than they were in the
vampires
and the guys. So
yeah, well,
Makes
we can
sense.
definitely once the delegations show up, I imagine we can have those sorts of conversations. But in the meantime, sounds like Shion's asking perhaps people who have traveled to the party, right? Like about their travels, about if they've encountered anyone who matches the description of Breontok, or anyone who's encountered the name, like his cover name, right? Trying to gather information in that sense, right? In which case, I imagine we see Shion talking with some of the like House Leporidos soldiers who may have at some point early on in the occupation gone up against Koramog Trocair's forces in the battlefield, or even been temporarily captured by a unit under his command. And so you're like starting to get little bits and pieces of where he was and what he was doing months ago that you already sort of know, but it fills in a lot of details, and you're starting to using that as a baseline to try to fish for more recent information.
yeah, that makes sense to me. Although I do feel like she would also be doing that while simultaneously trying to keep an eye for if anything might be a threat to Vern.
Yeah, makes sense. Shion and Chantrell both not taking a day off, even if they are still engaging with other people and going around the party. Now, I imagine the answer here is also not taking a day off, because I believe the boys are working today. And if the boys are working today, Merlin's probably also working today, but maybe not. Maybe he's delegated fully. Merlin, what are you wearing, and what are you up to as the party's beginning?
So Merlin is wearing a very... It's like Merlin's robes are like not dingy. They're like, just fine, but utilitarian. They're like maybe of like just a pretty sturdy textile, but now he's wearing a very, very plush, very deep maroon house coat, basically. And he's got a very like plush cravat coming out of the collar.
Ooh.
And he's wearing some very nice slippers. And instead of his usual beret, he's wearing a fez.
Ooh.
Oh, fancy.
Quite fancy. And what is he up to in this?
He's kind of sticking in the shadows, honestly, keeping an eye out for any ne'er-do-wells, which does include his boys. And he's keeping the shadows, just for cover, but also like he's still a well-known figure in the history of the Wizard Mafia. He might be a little afraid of someone coming by.
Right.
So he's not trying to make himself obvious, but he is also, while in the shadows, kind of keeping an eye out to see if maybe one of his kids showed up.
Sounds like perhaps the most on the job of anyone, or of any of the non-Verns thus far. Just like you're mostly focused on your task and observing, right? But not engaging so much at the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fair. I think this early into the party, we probably get a couple glimpses of Merlin checking in with some of the boys as like they're going off to do their different responsibilities. We see Merlin examining some figures in the crowd. No one yet whom he recognizes, both for good and for ill, right? Like no one who's a trouble to you specifically, but you haven't seen your daughter here yet. But, well, the night's just getting started, so perhaps later. After all, this celebration's happening across the town. It might take her a bit to even get to the palace, right? But, alright. That brings us to Chalice. Chalice, what are you wearing, and where is he as the delegations descend and the party begins?
So Chalice, he dresses normally pretty fancy, but in this particular moment, it has replaced most of his adornments with the colors of the flag, and his family symbol has been replaced with big showy it's not really a necklace, but it's sort of like a wrap around his chest of the flag stars. He's replaced his simple horn ornament with a more fancy glass tiara-like thing and necklace, and still wearing like a sheer fitted top and longer pants.
Very nice. And what's he up to?
Yeah, as far as what he's up to, he is actually in the private room that will eventually be occupied by the delegates from other countries, because he knows that Vern is going to be making a not a show, because it's very genuine, but like is gonna be out with the people and is celebrating the people as much as she's trying to invite and woo these other countries. He's making sure that the room is all prepared for people who come in. Anybody who does come in and Vern's not there, they have someone to greet them. Assure them that she's going to be with them in the moment, and we'll see them shortly. Making sure, probably has a couple of people helping him as well, like making sure that they immediately get a refreshment in their hands, immediately are comfy with what they need, and all that jazz.
Have a flute of ecto cooler on us.
Yeah, I imagine this room probably also has a few of the important figures that sort of are allied with Vern, aside from just you. Like Diatretta's probably also here, right? If not in here, but likely will be here.
Probably not Cookie.
No.
Yeah, probably not Cookie. I imagine that the bishop, Toga Landis, he probably does go through with all the people below, but being a bit further on in years and not quite as quick as he perhaps was in his youth, probably would settle in up here, being a figure of some regional importance. And I don't know if there's anyone else from... Oh, and of course, Noemi, Leporidos, and Ariel would make their way here at some point as well to help
Noemi.
It would help Chalice with the greeting and sort of being like, hey, Vern's doing other important stuff, but there's still there's still important people for you here to talk to the guests that arrive, right? Like to help, so that way Chalice does not shoulder the burden of every guest arriving.
That's very nice of them.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, in that case, why don't we get... We're close to the end of the session, but I think it could be fun to just describe our attendees with the full expectation that I'm not going to expect you guys to remember who's who and who's wearing what at the beginning of the next session. We'll go over it all again. But I'm about to go. I think I'm about to go through a bunch of names and imagery, and we can go from there, or rather pause there and then pick it up next
Story time. Story time.
But the first to actually arrive at the party are the
Gala.
delegation at the gala. Are the delegation from Makota Intan, a collection of individuals garbed in reds of various tones, whether that's red gowns, red coats. Most of them have deep reds to make up the majority of their outfit, but with these fiery, bright accents, either as something around the collar or as a headpiece. Some of them have oranges, a few have a little bit of yellow, giving this little flare of flame to their clothing.
Nice.
The delegation, headed by Permata Siddiq Airaksha, a plume with dark feathers, save for some bright ones down her throat, and a very vibrant yellow patch around her eyes.
Ooh.
She in particular, also in a deep red gown with like these little specks of red across her shoulder and sleeve that have been enchanted to sort of shimmer, giving this illusion of like smoldering flame as she moves.
Ooh.
Not long after that, in whites and blues, arrive the smaller delegation of the Kingdom of Altrecius, headed by King Selwyn Altrecius, and his and either a perhaps lord or bodyguard. The king is dressed in clothing that looks like it should be, well, if it were daytime. We're in the desert. It is nighttime, though, so it is reasonably cool. But he's wearing relatively heavy clothing, something that's a lot... he's got like these different layers of coats, most of which are different shades of blue with white accents or collars that sort of layer to give this gradient almost effect, right? Like with the deeper layers towards the center being deeper blues that become lighter and lighter as it moves to the outer layer. He's flanked by a woman who looks like she is, in some places, almost made of ice. What could at a glance be mistaken for bruising is a collection of deep blue frozen growths along her body, and she wears a sort of a fine, like a fine version of like a knight's tabard, right? Like it's very clearly like something that would not be useless if a fight were to break out, but it airs more on the side of showy rather than fully practical.
Okay.
Having those same dark blues, lighter blues to whites on the outside.
So we've gotten the Red Mains come in, and then the Knights of the Boreal Valley.
Microsporidia did manage to get their delegation
Oh my god.
to make it here in time. It's not a particularly large delegation,
That's fine.
but two figures at the head, flanked by a group of... Now, Chantrell, you would recognize that the group that sort of scatters throughout the party is, while they enter sort of in a rather formal fashion, they're not a particularly important group. Like, it's essentially someone has brought their set of like personal soldiers, which does not make them particularly important soldiers within Microsporidia, but they're capable of putting on a well-organized procession to enter, right? That then disperses like spores out into the crowd once that is all done. After the dispersal, there are two who lead the way. First, Antia Zenoma, a bit shorter than Chantrell, but still relatively on the taller side, mycelia, who is ghostly white and translucent in some places, with a natural scale-like skin along her limbs that consists of like these almost not quite perfect circles, but like, very slightly oblong, rounded plates with that are deep white in the center and then sort of translucent around the rims. This being someone who I think Chantrell probably has met once or twice, but is not particularly close with. We can delve deeper into that later when the conversations begin. But you at least recognize this individual. The second is a much less humanoid mycelia. One that's almost jellyfish-like, has a very bulbous sort of body. 4 very thin legs that don't quite have their knees in the places that humanoids would, right? So their movement is a little funky as they make their way through. The jellyfish body
I don't say that when they pass by.
The jellyfish body is completely translucent, but in the center of it is this opaque, shimmering mass, mostly of like reds, but there's a couple blues and greens in there as well, where there's a couple eye-shaped appendages that sort of shift and observe. And then let's see, who else do we have next? Beyond them, the Arhaman delegation, where we have, sorry, let me scroll, there's a lot of people here. An elderly Corvish woman, a woman who, she's Corvish looks very much like a dark feathered bird person. She's lost feathers in some places, but they've been replaced by artificial ones of shimmering silver and gold.
Ooh!
Her
Silver and gold.
affixed to her beak is a set of glasses that conveys that she's losing her eyesight. On one side of the glasses, a small darkened lens covers her eye, where she seems to have gone completely blind. And on the other side, a particularly big, thick lens that magnifies the other eye, so that it seems to, it really fills the view. She herself, dressed in very fine, intricate celestial imagery, stars and moons and all sorts of little chains sort of draped through the feathers, connecting the different artificial ones, atop a very simple cloth to shroud the rest of the body. Sorry, were you someone saying something?
I said it's pretty.
Oh, thank you. And then along with her, a quere, a pale anemone with a collar that would almost resemble fur, but it's a part of her body and moving, those anemone tendrils sort of around the neck.
Cool.
Dressed very plainly by comparison to the celestial companion at their side, and fully armed as well. It does seem to be the trend that many of these important-looking individuals are traveling with someone who's equipped just in case things were to go awry. But while there are some, security retinues, most of the individuals seem content to just have their singular armed bodyguard. And last, but not least, the Concord delegation enters.
Oh boy.
Prime Minister Eurydice Makram, a human woman who is walking with a bit of a limp and a cane, having about half a year ago now survived an assassination attempt which saw her withdraw from public life for a time. But she has survived and has recently been making appearances once more, and has chosen this party to be her first visit outside of the country since the assassination attempt.
Oh, that's good.
On her belt is a very ornate sword, the handle of which, and along the pommel, and what's that called? The crossguard, are these laurel wreaths and like vines that have that look almost like organically grown and wrapped around it, but are still part of that golden, golden metal. This blade has a reputation that precedes itself, but honestly isn't worth getting into in this introduction. Just suffice to say that it's especially fancy. And at her side, 2 of her children. One, a rather finely dressed individual who peels off almost immediately to engage in lively conversation, with medium-length hair tied back in a way. And just every so often, as they glance and sweep the room, there's a shadow that crosses one of their eyes. And this is her eldest child. And secondly, a man with a beard that looks like he tries very hard to keep it reasonable, but perhaps struggles with it. A man who's quick to talk to people like Osprey or to Diatretta, with words of investment and business on his lips.
Oh, I thought he was going to flirt them.
I thought he was a MILF hunter, but that's okay.
Yeah.
No.
Just to change I want to be in the world.
Mm-hmm. The middle child, Ignis. And the youngest child, I forget if we had the exact percentage, the mostly mechanical Lyra, having arrived with the delegation, but left before it arrived at the palace itself to explore the city. And these are at least the primary guests who have arrived here at the party, who are all now making their way to talk to you. Points directly at the camera.
Wow. It's like they're talking right to me.
But I think that's where we'll end. We'll just have to all remember that we had our engagement roll, which technically, we've just been doing fun flavor stuff for the past 40 minutes. But hopefully
it's gone really well.
So yeah, but we'll get to that controlled position when diplomacy starts next time. I would just say for you all, obviously you'll have a chance to talk to many, if not all of these people. But, maybe think about who you want to talk to first, and we can start there. So, yeah, anything else you guys want to do before we close out? Anything you feel is important to mention?
I don't think so.
I think we're set up well for next time.
Yeah!
All right.
Gonna go flawlessly.
Chantrell is excited.
Yeah, me too. I had so much fun deciding who's going to be here and what.
Yeah!
Yeah.
It's a gala!
It's a gala. We are gonna. There will be everything. There'll be negotiations. There'll be dancing. There'll be, hopefully, not dramatic arguments.
Yeah.
Someone brought myrrh.
Murder.
No, just myrrh. It's like a balm you rub.
I was gonna say, I think most of the retinue's trying to keep the murder out of the gala.
It's like an ointment.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, then I think that's it for us tonight, and we will resume next week. Before we go, though, let's go down the line, starting with Katie as Vern. Got anything coming up you want to talk about, Katie?
No.
All right, quick, easy. What about Nova as Chalice?
Game tomorrow. More Mina the Hollower.
More Mina the
Yay.
Hollower. And then Amasha as Chantrell. Anything you'd like to talk about?
Nothing right now.
Fair enough. What about you, Hambone as Merlin?
First things first, I really liked Mina's ears on Nova last time.
Oh, thank you.
That really looked really well. I was like, did they add it to their model? But I'm pretty sure it's just like a PNG they had themselves
Yep.
in front of. Yep. Good, smart. Anyway, the Olympia is coming to a close.
Yes.
For those, I actually got some good news with that. I went for the American Trucking Simulator event, and Funny Bones got first place.
Yeah!
Congrats!
Yeah, very good. Very good improvement from last year where we got dead last because I got stuck Austin Powersing a truck between a bar and a ditch.
Oh no.
Yeah, so that's going to free up a little bit more of my time. So, and dog sitting's over as well. So I'll be able to stream more, hopefully stream some art, because art fighting's coming up and I got to do some money refs and I have my anniversary. There's so much
Oh my
things!
god!
But if you'd like to know what's going on, you can follow me on Blue Sky at Radio Bonaire.
All right. And then, last but not least, Lena playing as Shion. I believe you have something you want to talk about at least.
Yeah, I'm gonna be streaming on Monday
Oh, yeah.
on twitch.tv/rabbitlegs. And I have like a surprise in regards to how I'm going to look on the stream.
Oh,
Oh.
fancy.
Make sure you're there. All right.
You can follow me on Blue Sky to get, make sure that you catch when I post about when I go live. It's also Rabbit Legs.
And everyone's channels should be in the ats below. And Nova's been shouting them out as we go.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nova. All right, I think that's it. So I'm going to move us on over to closing. Look for a raid target. Expect to hear from me in 30 seconds or so. But talk to you shortly. Alright, we're going to head on over to the Paladin Bell, who is also doing a tabletop RPG. So if you're sticking around and can say hello, please do. We both appreciate it. But regardless, we hope you've enjoyed your time here at the Liminal Branch Library, and we hope to see you again soon. Goodbye and good night.
I like that crow emoji.
Right.
It's really good.